Congratulations, you guys did it. You made it through the 5-day sugar swap challenge. And I know as you're emerging onto day 5, most of you are starting to feel better. Most of you have moved through the detox. And if you haven't quite gotten through the detox, hang in there. It does typically take 10 to 14 days to fully push inflammation from processed sugar out of your body. So give it a little bit more time, but realize those detox symptoms is your body's way of telling you things need to change, that processed sugar isn't working for you anymore, and that your body needs to regenerate on a cellular level. So it's your chance, it's your opportunity to take what you've learned, apply it so that you can continue healing. Now, with that said, there are a few things that happen to people most commonly when they finish a challenge, when they finish a diet, when they finish a way of eating, right? And I want to make sure you're prepared for that. When we can see things ahead of time, then often we can avoid them. Now, number one most common thing is you finish your challenge and you deserve that slice of pizza. You deserve that bowl of ice cream, right? Our mind plays these really funny tricks and has very interesting conversations with us about what we should and should not do. So be aware of that. If you feel like you have been deprived and you deserve a bowl of ice cream, by all means, go get yourself a bowl of ice cream, but make sure it's the Coconut Bliss ice cream without any processed sugar in it. If you feel like you deserve pizza, then by all means, open up my book, Piece of Cake, The Secret to an Anti-Inflammatory Diet, and make yourself some clean pizza. We don't want to feel deprived, and when we feel deprived, we fall off the wagon. So it's really important you give yourself what you want. Just give it to you in the anti-inflammatory version, okay? So that's number one. Number two, sometimes life happens, right? We get really stressed, or we have a bunch of family that comes, we go on vacation, we get busy at work, and we just fall off the wagon. Hopping back on is actually really easy. But again, our mind will do tricks with us and say things like, ooh, this food was so good, what's just one more bite? Or I've already ruined today by eating these brownies at work, I might as well have some cookies too, right? Anyone ever experience that? Oh, today is a bust, so I might as well just keep eating or drinking my way through it. I know I certainly have. So you want to be, again, really aware of our thoughts and our thinking so that you can rise above and make a conscious decision, a conscious choice as to how you want to continue living. If you fall off the wagon, I always say, drink water, get your clean protein in, and have some clean treats available. Those are the 3 simple steps that you learned in the 5-day sugar swap challenge, which will support you for a lifetime. Now, you want to take this work a step further. You're like, yes, I feel great. And maybe you've plateaued, or maybe you know that in order to maintain this way of eating, you need a little bit more accountability. It could be that you have an autoimmune condition or some sort of crisis symptoms that, while taking out processed sugar has made a huge difference, and adding that water, really diving into the top 6 inflammatory foods is your next step to fully regenerating and healing. I told you I was bedridden. I nearly died from autoimmune conditions. They didn't heal overnight, and they certainly didn't heal just by taking out processed sugar. It required that I took a deeper dive into those top 6 inflammatory foods, which we've discussed, and really became a renegade researcher in all of them. It is amazing how many nuances there are in my group coaching program. One of the most common things I hear from people is there's so many nuances, just like you learned about processed sugar, with all of the top 6 inflammatory foods. And then sometimes we even want to take a step further and be like, does my body like grains? Does it like nightshades? Maybe, maybe not. There's no way for us to know until we really become in alignment and in integrity with these top 6 inflammatory foods. But then what are we going to eat? I mean, you may have figured out some foods to eat when we take out processed sugar. I know you got a bunch of great recipes and fun ideas. But what do we do when we're taking out wheat and cow dairy and refined oils and GMOs? How do we fully find the food swaps, whether they're recipes or grocery store swaps, that satisfy you, that are quick and easy so that you can maintain this way of eating for life. Because remember, it's all about regenerating the cells in your body. You can grow young. I had someone in my group coaching program recently tell me that had she discovered me 5 years ago, she never would have retired early because the pain went away, her autoimmune conditions disappeared, and she had all the energy in the world to do everything she wanted. That's pretty amazing. But that took a deeper dive into healing. I have another client in my group coaching program who just told me today that she's lost 42 pounds. She had 23 chronic symptoms that she was dealing with when she came to me only a few months ago, some of which were autoimmune conditions, which doctors will often say never reverse. Today, she only has 3 of those symptoms left. 3, and she's lost 42 pounds. But it didn't all happen at once. She did the sugar swap challenge. She felt great. She signed up for my 9-week online group coaching program where you have direct access with me every single day. You get group coaching calls every single week. So many amazing components to the program to support you. But partway through the group coaching program, she had lost maybe 20 pounds and she had taken out a lot of the top 6 inflammatory foods, not all of them. Sometimes she would eat inflammatory foods. Most of the time she wouldn't. And she hit a plateau and she said, Jenny, I'm feeling better, but I'm not where I want to be. And I've lost 20 pounds, but I want to lose 50. I don't know what to do. So we looked at the foods that she was eating. She posted them in our private Facebook group and said, here's the foods I've been eating. And I was able to, as an inflammation expert, identify these are the foods that are inflammatory and here's some perfect swaps so that she could close the gap. Instead of eating clean 80% of the time and 20% of the time having little inflammatory foods sprinkled in, we closed that gap. So that 100% of the time she was eating clean, but she didn't feel deprived because she loved the foods that she was eating and it was easy. Now, after I think a little over 6 months, she's lost 42 pounds and counting, and again reversed 20 of her 23 chronic symptoms, including her autoimmune condition, which is a hormonal condition her doctor said would never happen. So amazing. These are the things that happen when you dive deeper into the top 6 inflammatory foods. Okay, so next steps. Be aware of your thinking. Be aware of when you fall off the wagon, how to get back on. Those simple steps to getting back on the wagon. Be aware of the mind, what will happen when you finish this challenge, and the mind may say, oh, you deserve the pizza, you deserve the ice cream, etc., right? We want to find those clean swaps. And if you are someone who wants to dive deeper, if you are someone who would love to have me, inflammation expert, at your beck and call in a private group coaching setting, if you're someone who wants to heal further, wants to move beyond the plateaus, wants to make this a lifestyle rather than a challenge, someone who wants to identify all of the inflammatory foods that are affecting them and have the simple, fun, delicious swaps to support them along the way, then my 9-week group coaching program is your next step. Look at the information in the link below to sign up. You will receive, like I said, a private Facebook group full of incredible community members. It is such a loving and supportive group. You will make new friends. That is a guarantee. There are over 60 grocery store swaps, over 50 recipes, so many ideas. People can ask me for any swap and I give it to them. Someone the other day said for Mother's Day they wanted to make a coconut cream pie for their mom. I found them the clean swap. Someone wanted to make pumpkin bars for Halloween. I found them the clean swap. I'm the food swap queen. So use me as a resource, and the Facebook group is an incredible resource of ideas and content for amazing both grocery store and recipe swaps. You also get weekly coaching calls, 2-hour-long coaching calls by myself and my colleague. We rotate every other week. It is phenomenal, where you show up, ask questions, and get laser coaching. Truly people, it's one of their favorite aspects of this program. And if you're not available to come to the coaching call, you can ask your questions ahead of time and I will answer and do a laser coaching session with you, remotely recorded. Once a month, I bring in a guest presenter that is either a high-end coach, a practitioner, a best-selling author. I have world-renowned doctors that come in. We have amazing guest presenters that once a month come in and talk to our internal group coaching program about different modalities and methods of healing holistically. Also, one of my very favorite parts of this program, because not only are we nailing our diet and basic lifestyle like movement, breathing, water intake, but we are also learning about biohacking of the ancients, modern day biohacking, gut health. We're learning about codependence, how to move through grief, trauma. The list goes on and on and on. So if that's something that interests you, this is the perfect place to be. Of course, it includes 3-month meal plans, loads of bonuses. Again, if this is your next step, if you want to dive deeper into your health, if you want to make this a lasting method of healing. This is not a diet, it's a lifestyle, and even that sounds cheesy to me. It's just a delicious, fun, healthy way to eat that you won't want to go back. If you want to learn about all of that, join me and my 9-week online group coaching program. The link is below. Sign up. You won't regret it.